now I'm gonna put you on the spot, and I'm gonna test your Second Amendment credentials here. So I'm gonna give you a quote, and I'm gonna see if you can tell me who said this. So here's the quote, and this is a who said it. Quote starts off.
Okay.
I want to say. It says, I want to start, excuse me, let me start over. I want to say those fighting words for everyone within the sound of my voice to hear and to heed, and especially for you, Mr. Gore, from my cold, dead hands. Who said it?
Oh, I know that. That's Moses himself, the late, great Charlton Heston.
See, you almost threw me for a second.
I'm right on that one, aren't I?
You're correct, but when you started, I heard the M sound coming out of your mouth, and I'm like, oh, he's going to get this one wrong. But no, you're right. Charlton Heston, absolutely. So now extra credit for you if you know when and where he said it.
I think it was at an NRA convention. I've seen the video. I remember he holds that musket over his head.
Yep, that's the one.
It was a great, iconic moment.
Yeah, NRA convention. That was Charlotte in 2000. That video. Okay. I watched it again when I was coming up with that question. I watched that video this weekend. I've actually played it on the show here, the audio before, and it's one of my absolute favorite videos. And it reminds me of what I wish we had more of. Just what a phenomenal the way he delivered that message. I mean, obviously the guy's an actor, and he was spot on. But just his tone of voice and his presentation, his delivery of that message that day, I thought just iconic. And what a huge loss for the voice that he gave the NRA and the Second Amendment. But yeah, that's one of my favorite videos. It still gives me chills watching it. So here's I got another one for you. I'm going to push you back in history for this one. Here's the quote. Strong body makes the mind strong. As to the species of exercise, I advise the gun. While this gives moderate exercise to the body, it gives boldness, enterprise, and independence to the mind. Games played with the ball and others of that nature are too violent for the body and stamp no character on the mind. Let your gun, therefore, be your constant companion of your walks.
I know it. You scared me at first because I wasn't catching it at the beginning of the quote, but at the end, that's Thomas Jefferson, I think.
Absolutely, it's Thomas Jefferson. That's one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
I sit there and I think about that one, and I think, the message there, and sometimes people probably breeze over, but the enterprise of the mind of carrying a gun, and it really does. I mean, it's the gun is a defensive tool, as we Second Amendment advocates embrace it, but it really does give carrying. It makes you more aware. It makes you, it puts you at equal with an attacker. So it really does give enterprise of the mind. Let's see, what do I have here? I got one more for you, and I didn't even know this one myself till 3 months ago. So I don't even know if I'm going to pronounce it right. But what does Molon Labe mean?
Molon. Oh, that's come and take it. Come and take, or come and take.
Yeah.
Come and take them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Which that goes way back. Xerxes.
Yeah, and it's kind of now I see a lot of pro-gun folks kind of a statement of defiance. So good, you passed my you passed my Second Amendment credentials test.
I didn't get to. I don't want to take too much time, but going back to that Thomas Jefferson quote. I mean, one of the things I didn't get a chance to go into my real hobbies. I love history and I love reading. And when you read some of the founding fathers, I mean, even just the quotes on their views of the right to bear arms. I mean, it just couldn't be clearer exactly what they believed and the perspective they were coming from. I love Thomas Jefferson's quote that he has, about that, and obviously I don't have it in front of me, so I'm not going to get it perfect, but the idea that, when you have gun laws, it doesn't do anything to restrict the criminals. It only restricts the law-abiding citizens. That's obviously a concept that's near and dear to the Second Amendment movement. And it goes all the way back to Thomas Jefferson.
It's so easy for people if they want to just take a little bit more time, and because when you hear people speculate on the Second Amendment, say, well, in this now I think with Supreme Court rulings we're kind of past it, but 5-10 years ago people used to say there was still a discussion of this was about a militia, and you didn't have to go far, but do a little bit more reading, and you'd find plenty of quotes, and whether it's the Federalist Papers, I mean there's just dozens, scores of places to go read and understand exactly what they really meant when they formed that amendment. And so it just takes a little bit more reading, and some of the other quotes from our founding fathers, and there'd be no question in anybody's mind what the intent of those was. So, well, good, Jonathan. Yep. So now a couple more things. How about how can people stay in touch with your campaign, help out? Twitter, Facebook, website. What's the contact info for you?
Sure. Well, I've got it all. I'm on Twitter and Facebook, are both just Steitz for Senate, and that's STEITZFOR and then Senate. So easy to find me there. I'm pretty active on both. I also have a website, which is www.steitzforsenate.org. It's O-R-G. And again, the spelling is STEITZFOR and then Senate. So those are the best ways to get in.
I'll throw this one out there because I think I went to the wrong one. I believe there's a SteitzForSenate.com, if I'm not mistaken, and that's not you, correct? Because I ended up there.
There is. That is a squatter, unfortunately, and I'm trying to get it back, but I have not had success yet. So you are got some kind of education blog or something up, which I don't know. It's nothing. Yep. But my campaign is .org.
.org, SteitzForSenate.org. Perfect. So my last question, customary for me to ask my guests, is what are you packing tonight?
I've got my my Glock Gen 9 or my Glock G19 with Gen 4.
Very good. Excellent. So, well, Jonathan, I appreciate your time coming on the show tonight, and wish you the best of luck in the upcoming election, and look forward to you being, what do they say in the Senate, the gentleman from the 21st. We look forward to that.
I appreciate that, Nick. And one other thing I'll throw out there, just in case any of your listeners are going to be there, I will be at the Wisconsin Conservative Action Conference, which is next Saturday in Economowoc. So if any of the listeners are there, I'd certainly appreciate come up and introduce yourself, and love to talk to you.
Jonathan, thanks so much for coming on the show.
You bet. Thanks for having me, Nick. Really appreciate it.
Have a good night. Yep, be well armed.
You too.
All right, so that's Jonathan Steitz, candidate for 21st Senate District. Good to chat with him. It's so nice to hear. I was trying to stump him with those, and I think us in the gun rights movement, some of the quotes we know by heart, but you kind of weed out how many people who don't pay close attention with some of those quotes. So good to have Jonathan on here.